Okay, so because of the recent news that Joy Division slash New Order is going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2026, I wanted to come back to Joy Division and I wanted to come back to my favorite song of theirs, but I wanted to do the live version. And this is something that I have not watched in, I want to say a couple of years anyway, because it's just so intense. And I just, it's too much, but I want to watch it and I want to come back to it. And of course, this is a review, whatever you want to say, but, I just wanted to do this because, of course, Joy Division slash one more time New Order finally are going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, some people don't take it seriously anymore, but either way, the boys are going in. So let's get into this, talk about it after, and just watch their mastery. I mean, my God, here we go. Fuck. Joy Division, She's Lost Control, live at Something Else show, September 1978, I do believe. Was that 78? Hold the phone. Talk about 79. My goodness gracious, 1979. Oh, my God. Can you imagine? You saw the little audience there. Being there at this time and watching them and watching Ian Curtis dance, and it must have just been an out-of-body experience. I mean, I don't know if these guys in the audience they might have been, they probably might have been fans of the band, whatever the hell. But if they weren't, and if you watch this, I don't know if this was broadcast, wherever the hell. I mean, I'm out of my depth on that one. But if you saw this, or either way, whether you saw it for the first time, no matter what age you were, what year it was, you must have just the feeling you get when you see Ian Curtis dancing, and you're like, what is he doing? But that's just his signature dance, and it's just so different. Between, of course, you have him doing his gyrations and his dancing, and the rest of the band is just so focused on the crowd. I mean, I don't know if Bernard Sumner, if he ever looked up. I mean, he was just looking down at his guitar the whole way through. But it's just so beautiful, and it's just so raw, and it's just so intense. And Stephen, I'm all over the place here, but Stephen Morris, I've talked about before, because I just did a New Order reaction not too long ago. But his militaristic, drum machine like style, especially here, just the continuous, I mean, he's over here, he's up here. It's not too much movement that he's doing, but he's so fast, he's so crisp, he's so quick on it, and it's just his timing is impeccable as well. And I love his hair flips too. You can see him flipping his hair. You know, it's just, I don't know, every little thing I look at, and just to see him go, and the echo, I guess you would say, on his drum as well, and it's orgasmic to me. I mean, this is like an orgasm. I mean, my God, just watching this. I mean, I can't say it any other way. I apologize. But yeah, and but anyway, between Steven there, and then of course you got, like I talked about there with Bernard Sumner's great guitar work, which is kind of, I mean, I would say kind of light. It's moody, of course, but at the same point, he's kind of a bit lighter, I guess you would say, in comparison to Peter Hook. And I go from Stephen Morris being one of my favorite drummers of all time, and of course, Sumner is one of my favorite guitarists of all time, I gotta say too, as Joy Division is one of my favorite bands of all time. But Peter Hook has to be, and I always say it for fuck's sakes, but he's my favorite bassist just because of his different take on bass and how he makes it as important as a guitar. I mean, the way he plays it. I just love how low his bass is on him, and it's just the way his hands are way down. You can't see what I'm doing, but his hands are way down because his bass is way down, you know, by his midsection, and it's just such a cool, I guess, image that way. The way that his bass drives the song, the way that his bass is played kind of high in its sound, not high on it, but just it's kind of high in its own sound. And of course, a lot of this has to do with Martin Hannett's production style here, and how kind of mechanical, I guess I want to say, that is, and how kind of maniacal as well, if you want to say whatever one of those words that it is. And at the same point, I would say with the studio version, it's very, very ominous, very dark on all those things. And that comes across here too. But I just love watching them have at it. And it just creates an even more raw experience, I guess, as well, because you get the imagery of, or just the video of Ian dancing. And I didn't even talk about Ian's voice, but I mean, I've talked about this band so much, but Ian's voice is just, for a guy that was, 20, 21, something like that around this point, how, like, his voice being that deep is just nuts. His voice just being such a good baritone. I mean, you can be a baritone and sound terrible, but he's a good baritone sounding guy. And his facial expressions, his eyes, you know, going back in his head a little bit at different points. I would imagine, you know, just that's just him on the stage there. And I do believe he had, you know, stage fright, of course, and stuff like that. And that's why he would dance and stuff. And I just, to go back to that one more time, but I just love how the band didn't think it was weird, did not look at him, whatever. They just let him go. And they just said, there you go, Ian, have at it. And, just beautiful, beautiful guys for that. But anyway, but Ian's voice, still, like I said, just a baritone that just cuts right through you. Every word is captivating. Every word is just hard as hell. About as hard as, you know, Peter's bass lines. And it's just, oh my God, it's just, no other band has hit me like this. Like, well, there's other bands I love, whatever the hell. But the song in particular, it's just so different to me. And I just love that continuous driving bass line from Peter. Again, it's just, it's just, I don't know, it's hypnotizing to me. It's like fucking catnip to a cat. Anyway, and then you got, again, Ian's voice over top of it. I mean, my Lord, just fucking, that's all I need. And, but anyway, I really would just wanted to come back to this, to talk about this again, because one more time, the, Joy Division and New Order. I don't know. I guess it's fine, whatever. But Joy Division / New Order just being one thing, I guess it makes sense because, of course, after Ian passed away, they went on to form, it was the same people, but they brought in Jillian Gilbert, of course, and, and created New Order. So I guess it makes sense there, whatever, that they're put together to go in. But I love it. And I love that when Peter Hook talked about it, he had an Oasis t-shirt on when he did it because I love Oasis. And Oasis is going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame too this year. That's fun. And so is Phil Collins. And I believe Noel Gallagher hates Phil Collins. So that's fun too. Anyway, so I just really wanted to do this and talk about them here and watch this performance here one more time because, like I said, I have not done it in a while. And you can the feel, the vibes of it all. I mean, it's just, I can't get over it. My God, it's just something, it's a masterpiece to watch and to watch them play. But I'm going to get into these lyrics now. Again, they're pretty self-explanatory a little bit there once you understand the story. And like I said off the get-go, I did react to this way back when, but I don't know what the hell I said then. But we're going to get into it now. And now that I kind of understand more about the band after all these years. But of course, Ian, I believe he was working at a hospital and he came across a woman who had not just, epileptic seizures. And of course, he was diagnosed with epilepsy as well. But this woman would have, terrible epileptic seizures. And I do believe that's how she passed away. And Ian, I guess, thought that she must have found a job, I think it was, or he thought that she was doing good or whatever. And then he found out that, no, he hadn't seen her because she passed away. And that's pretty much where the whole inspiration for the song came from. And it's the whole thing, too, around the stigma around epilepsy or really any other kind of disorder. And which is another song by Joy Division, Disorder, of course. But anyway, to talk about these things and to talk about, mental health, really, at the end of the day and all those and the things that go along with epilepsy and the pressures of that and trying to live with that. But anyway, so that woman came into play here very well, and that's, she's lost control. She's lost control over everything because of this seizure, of course. So anyway, let's get into this first verse. Confusion in her eyes that says it all. She's lost control. I just love his voice. I can't say it enough. And she's clinging to the nearest passerby. She's lost control. And she gave away the secrets of her past and said, I've lost control again. And of a voice that told her when and where to act, she said, I've lost control. Again, you think about all these things, she's clinging to the nearest passerby because she's losing control. She's going to have a seizure. She gave away the secrets of her past. I mean, again, she's confused. She's not with it. I mean, she's not 100% and all these things, maybe she's revealing things of her past, I guess, at this point too. The voice told her when and where to act. Again, she's just losing control. This epilepsy has taken over her life and she can't be herself. And she's obviously having a hard time. My God. Then we have the second verse. And she turned around and took me by the hand and said, I've lost control again. And from what I've said earlier, Ian did know this person. And I guess maybe this was an actual experience of her taking him by the hand and said, I've lost control again. And I don't know if she was actually saying, I've lost control or I've lost control again to him. But obviously, that's where he took the song after being inspired by her. And how I'll never know just why or understand. She said, I've lost control again. Again, there's so much confusion. There's so much feeling of just not knowing what to do or how to stop this or where to go. I mean, my God, it's just, it's murky as hell and it's moody, it's ominous, all these things. And that comes across in the music, in the production. My God. And she screamed out, kicking on her side, and said, I've lost control again, and seized upon the floor. I thought she'd die. She said, I lost control again. I thought she'd die. And because, again, these seizures are just so out of control. And no matter how many times he says, I've lost control, or she's lost control again, I never get tired of it. It's not even filler. It's just, it's another hypnotizing part of the song. And I don't get over it either because Ian's voice is just so raw and, like I said, and energetic in his own way, and just so dark, and I can't get enough of it. I mean, oh my God. Anyway, I'm fawning over these guys like a teenage girl or something. She's lost control again. She's lost control. She's lost control again. She's lost control. And my goodness, I'm still getting over a cold. But that chorus there, and how when the song, Ian, of course, goes, she's lost control, and then he just goes nuts and starts dancing. I mean, oh my God. I could watch that and then you could just kill me. I'm having a good time. Then we have the third verse. And I had to phone her friend to state my case, and she said she's lost control again. Now calling friends there to tell them about her. I mean, my goodness, in her state, I guess. And she showed up all the errors and mistakes and said, I've lost control again. But she expressed herself in many different ways until she's lost control again. I walked upon the edge of no escape and laughed, I've lost control. And I feel like now maybe he's almost and I don't know if I'm being dumb here or not, but I could be, but he's kind of almost inserting himself here in this way because again, he has epilepsy and once he was diagnosed with that and he saw her state, I mean, can you imagine? Can you just wondering, is that going to happen to me? So now he's talking about, I've walked upon this edge of no escape where I can't escape this disorder, this disease, whatever you want to say, and laughed. I've lost control. So anyway, that comes in my big fat head either way that he could turn into her. And of course he did not really turn into her, I guess, in a way, because then he would, commit suicide, or die by suicide. I don't like saying commit. Anyway, she's lost control again. We have the chorus. She's lost control. She's lost control again. She's lost control. The instrumental outro. And after, Ian keeps dancing and the band just keeps fucking going. And, each of them just so good at their craft and they're all just so young as hell. And they are just having at it. And Stephen Morris, as it dies down, they get slower and slower. And Stephen, of course, is the last one with that and it's just, I just love it so much. That continuous though, that I mean, I'll just be walking around the house doing that because of Stian's drum pattern on this song. But anyway, it's because I'm nuts. But anyway, I guess that's all I got to say on the whole song. This was just really for me. So if anyone watches, that's very much appreciated. But I just had to do something and I wanted to do this, a live performance. Hopefully the video doesn't get blocked. But we'll see what happens there. But like I said, for the third time now, they're going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And when that happens, I like to, I guess, do a little reaction or review of a band that I enjoy who's going into that. And so yeah, this was just to watch this again. So many years ago now, over 40 years ago, this performance was, but it just still holds up. For its intensity and for how raw and aggressive it is and for just how unique it is, I guess, because of Ian's dancing and he's just such a different frontman even today. I don't know. There's just something about Ian where, I mean, there's not really another frontman who was like Ian Curtis. I mean, holy fuck. But anyway, I guess that's all I'm going to say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all of those things. I really appreciate all of the support. And I'll talk to you guys again soon.